So last week I encouraged you to go gluten-free for a few days and to see how that made you feel. I hope that you did give that a try. And if you did, I hope that you're starting to notice some differences, especially in your guts. I would imagine that you might feel less bloated, a little bit lighter, and I would hope that you would start having a little bit more energy by now. Now, dairy is the next big thing, and I know you knew that that was coming. Again, many people have said to me, I've been tested, I'm not allergic to dairy. I would probably beg to differ and say that, well, I think most people are probably intolerant to dairy, and so you really could benefit from removing that from your diets. Now, both dairy and gluten are very mucus producing in the body, and mucus production really starts at the source of any disease or sickness. And so you want to make sure that your mucus production is at a minimum. In fact, gluten, dairy, and sugar are going to be your three most mucus producing foods that you could consume. And dairy really is right up there. So dairy is made for obviously young cattle, for example, if you're using a cattle-based dairy. And in fact, it is not made for humans, and especially after it has been processed. So that milk is then heated up and gone through whatever process to get to the format that you drink it in. I've heard it said that baby cattle wouldn't even be able to survive on that milk if they were given that milk. So certainly adding no benefit into our bodies. If you do believe that it's giving you calcium, I've also heard it said that in countries that use dairy as a form of calcium, there's far more osteoporosis than countries that don't. It is not giving you your calcium, your magnesium, or vitamin D's all in the right balance in order to feed that calcium into your bones. And in many instances, consuming dairy is actually stripping much needed calcium out of the bones. And so you'd want to make sure that you're having a really good quality green powder or green vegetables every day to be getting that right calcium level into your body. And so something like the Harvest Tables green alkalizing powder is a wonderful way to get those greens into your diet. Dairy is something that I think we should all avoid. And I think cheese and butter, some of the most difficult things for people to remove from their diets. I think if you would like to still do small amounts of that, make sure that you are looking for a fresh from the farm source, from an unpasteurized dairy source. And then you are really getting dairy in as close to its original format as possible. That would be the same for yogurt. But I would like to encourage you to try and remove all dairy from your diet for at least the next week, if not longer. Like we said with gluten, if we try and do 3 weeks, then I really believe that you could see a difference. And if you find that you're really struggling with something like a lack of cheese and you're missing those flavors in your diet, why don't you give some of the new vegan nut-based cheeses a try? I've found that something like the Woolies macadamia nut-based cheeses, really delicious, really nice options. There are some beautiful local producers making amazing vegan cheeses, and that might just get you through the next period of time. And in fact, you might find that you even really start enjoying some of these things. They're giving you far more nutrients. A lot of them are made in really traditional ways as well, so make sure that you're not replacing a dairy with something full of unneeded additives and preservatives. But if you can find a really nice, clean-made vegan cheese, naturally fermented, then that actually could be hugely beneficial for your body. And I believe at the end of at least a week, if not more, if you can get through longer, you will start seeing the benefits, especially if you are a sinus sufferer, if you have bags under your eyes, if you're always feeling puffy, if you're suffering from allergies. Why don't you cut out your dairy and your wheat and see how amazing it can make you feel?